Bell or bust, and here he is.
Yeah, and if you joke, this is a tough matchup. You see 26 years old from West New York, New Jersey, 10th all-time on the money list, and a lot of people are going to have you as the favorite going into this matchup, but as Drini will tell you, just because a lot of people don't know who Fancy is doesn't mean he's any type of slouch. He's been on the underground scene for a little bit now, a lot of buzz around his name, and best believe he's going to want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure.
On the other side, we got Fancy, and you gave us a little bit of the scouting report. What do we need to know about this guy, Drini?
And he has really good reads. You know, one of the best I've seen in this tournament. Like everybody else is running the ball, this dude is just completely airing the ball out. No one can stop that passing game that he has.
It feels like if anyone can, it might be Joke. This is going to be contrasting styles, and that always causes fights here in the losers bracket. Win or go home. They're just trying to play tomorrow and have an opportunity. It's still a long road when you're over here on the losers bracket, but there are some Madden magic. We'll kick it off once again for the final time here in Pizza Hut Stadium on a Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow with so many great matchups, and we will crown a champion. If you're just tuning in, Scott Cole along with RG, Madden champion Drini is with us as well, and Fancy's going to start with it first. You like having the ball first, or you want to play D?
As a defensive player, you definitely want to get that stop first. It'll make your opponent really play aggressive on defense, and it's going to cause them to make mistakes on defense. So, getting that stop in the first possession is huge in a game like this.
Well, we're looking at the formation substitutions here. I already saw him go into tight I form. Certainly a running formation.
Yeah, I feel like he's setting those audibles for like when he goes into the goal line. For the most part, he's going to be in trips tight end, just passing the ball.
Yeah, you got Fancy's from McKinney, Texas, and the furthest he's ever made it into a tournament was last year at the Madden 19th Classic. He got 17th place, so this is as big as the stage has ever been for him.
Yeah.
Did you give him a pep talk, Drini, about how to deal with some of the pressure, maybe?
I didn't give him the pep talk, but, man, playing in front of the crowd like this, it's going to be tough.
Jimmy G gets all kind of pressure on him, but delivers to the outside. That's a first down. If you don't know where McKinney, Texas is, it's just a few miles north of Dallas. You get on the 121, head out to Sam Rayburn Highway out there in Collin County. So he's only about 45 minutes away from where we're playing. If he can win tonight, he'll be sleeping in his own bed. Coming back here tomorrow, try to get a dub.
Ooh,
a little stop and go.
That was a little sticky right there.
Trini, I got to ask you, what is it with a pass-heavy offense? Why go with a team like the 49ers instead of, the Texans, the Patriots, some of those other pass-heavy teams? What is it about the Niners that a guy like Fancy likes so much?
They basically have a lot of speed everywhere, and then you have that route,
The receiver apprentice.
Receiver apprentice, where you can add 4 additional routes to your tight end, and George Kittle has that. So, you can be so much more creative with this offense than any other offense, and that's why he picks the 49ers. And like I said, he has a lot of speed out there. He could burn any coverage. 3rd
and inches. Joke. Quick throw. Goodwin picks up the first down and a little bit more, and plus territory at the 46.
Yeah, I've seen people all year. They're calling Goodwin Baby Tyreek out here.
Yeah.
Fancy getting him involved early.
Like I said, man, his reads are quick. He reads the user so fast.
1st and 10. This is a huge ball game for both of our competitors. Joke has been here before. Fancy new to the scene. And we forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 4 for 4, Drini, to start the game up here for Fancy.
Man, I'm telling you, one of the best passes I've seen so far in the tournament. Everybody else running the ball. He's just total different, scheme from everyone else. And you gotta appreciate what he's doing.
2nd and 10. First incompletion. That's probably on me. And he'll use a timeout.
What's it like, Drini, to Fancy? He's going up against a guy like Joke. Joke has a ton of experience. Do you think that's going to rattle him at all, or is this the type of moment he thrives in?
I feel like Fancy's made it so far. I feel like he doesn't care who he's playing now. I think he's in the groove.
Woo!
Look
baby, good
Starting
one.
it up. He is not shook by anybody. He's ready to play anybody. And here he goes, scoring a touchdown.
That's the groove right there. Opening score for Fancy.
All right.
7 plays, 82 yards. Biblical, RG.
It's going to be interesting to see what type of defense here Fancy's going to have for this Eagles offense. You know Jokes is going to want to pound this rock.
Yeah.
I think this is the third Niners-Eagles matchup we've had in a row to close the day here.
Yeah, but something to know about this offense is it's not really good when you're playing from behind. It's like you want to be ahead and you want to play, control the clock, but when you're behind, you really can't do that, and now you're trying to, you're kind of forced to score 7.
I feel like if Fancy could get them down 2 scores, even 10 to nothing, I mean.
I feel like it would be over.
That could be monumental, yeah. 2:18 to go here in the first. I want to welcome you guys in if you're just joining us, coming to you live from the Esports Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. All kind of amazing things going on. Cowboys preseason game, a ton of Texas Ranger games, and of course Auburn and Oregon right there in AT&T Stadium. As far as complexity goes, this is sort of your backyard.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the headquarters is right beside the Star, where all the Cowboys players, eat, train. So it's kind of cool.
There in Frisco, Texas. Yeah. Wentz fires an Alshon, the former Gamecock, will pull it in at the 47-yard line. That's on the other side of the 50.
That's a beautiful pass lead right there. I feel like if he passed that up, there'd have been a pick. He passed that to the right, and it was just a perfect pass lead. Made him catch it.
That's good insight right there from Drini. That pass lead can often be the difference in an interception, a complete pass, an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Something we don't talk about a lot, but pass leading is key. Where you're going to aim those passes with the left stick when you let it rip.
Yeah.
Oh man,
stretch to Scott, and he'll roll to the 43.
That's that nasty streak right there.
With that nasty streak. I'm telling you, if you got that nasty streak, and it's not a D lineman in front of you, that defender's getting put on the ground.
Yeah, it kind of limits what formations you can run on defense. You really can't run dollar versus you can't run 1-4-6. You have to run like a 3-4-4-3 kind of set.
Yeah, because any of those defenses that put those linebackers in at those DN positions, they're going to hit the ground.
It's pancake time.
Yeah. Well, that's great defense right there. 4th and inches. Ooh, 4th and 1.
Hurry up. Do you call timeout here if you fancy? Get into your 1-yard defense?
He'll hand it off, and he gets the first down, and then he came back a little bit. But he will move the chains. That was scary for a moment for Joke.
I felt like he was about to shoot the gap, but Joke maneuvered his way around, got the first down.
And I will say, we talked about the Cowboys, how they are the best. A lot of people consider them the best team. They seem to be the meta. But here we are deep in the tournament, and you see it, the Eagles and the Niners, 2 teams that you wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to how you want to play. If you're going to want to run first, Cowboys, Eagles are the 2 best teams for that. But passing, you want to use the Patriots, San Francisco, and Texans. So those are the 3. Those are like the 5 teams you're going to see most of the tournament.
Wentz all day, just a 3-man rush. Carson will get out of there. You better slide. 7-yard gain.
Look at Fancy. Look at Fancy up there.
Joke was saying he was trying to slide. I don't know what's going on.
2nd and 3. Wentz will hand it off to Scott. That'll be near the first down. Going to pin on the spot, and it will be 3rd and inches this time.
One thing I'm curious about, Drini, from a guy like your perspective, a pro player, when you see the Eagles, get that update and you get all those offensive lineman abilities, how much time do you need to spend preparing for a team like this? Did you hit the lab, get ready for them?
Personally, I didn't think a lot of people were going to use the Eagles, even though I knew about those abilities. I thought they were just going to pick the Cowboys for the most part. But, these Eagles are somebody, that's tough to guard. Look at this. Look at the blocking that they're getting. Like, man.
In other words, they're catching people off guard with these Eagles, just like Joke caught Fancy off guard with that touchdown run right there.
Jordan Howard, the former Indiana Hoosier,
And
will tie us up.
Not only about the offensive line, but the defensive line as well. You have Fletcher Cox with the fearmonger. He is going to go crazy when you pass the ball. He's going to get quick pressure, and he's going to disturb the QB, inaccurate passes.
We've seen Fletcher Cox make a real difference over these last couple games.
Yeah, he's got that fearmonger. That's his X-factor ability, but then his passive abilities, he has under pressure, and probably the most important one of them all, that power specialist.
Look at it again. It's a full back dive to the cribbo.
Oh, he's showboating, hurdling.
A little cute little hurdle into the end zone right there.
That's a little disrespectful.
3:57 to go now. Remember, Fancy started with it first, and now he's going to be on the half-yard line. They're going to say the forward progress was at the 2
Man,
when he took the initial hit.
He super screamed at him right there. He sent the crib. Sent everybody at him. 2nd and 21.
What do you do here, Draney?
From personal experience, I do not like him being in tight in this type of situation just because you cannot match attack where you can block 7 people. That's the biggest thing versus 1-for-6. You need to be able to match attack, make sure that your QB has time in the pocket. But tight, you obviously can't do that, and that's the only reason I wouldn't recommend tight in that formation.
Well, he goes to trips here on 3rd and 10. Got him out of his own shadow of his own end zone. You're not passing back there just because that camera view. It gets wonky back there, but there's a first down. He's 6 of 7 for 100 yards.
Man, going 6 for 7 on Joke is really tough to do. Him being one of the best defensive players in this game, I'm impressed by Fancy.
1st and 10 now. Garoppolo. Yikes.
That 1-4-6 is screaming, and we talked about it. It's tough. They set it up the same way every time. You don't know if that slot cornerback's going to come off the edge from the left, from the right, from both sides. Are they going to drop him into coverage? It really forces you to make that post-snap read, which isn't too easy.
Yeah.
Especially against a guy like Joke, who, like Draney said, one of the best defensive players out there on the circuit.
Brings Orlando Scandrick down in the box once again. User and Hill here on 2nd and 20 for Joke. He'll sling it to the outside, and Pettis maybe got 2.
Joke is totally fine with giving up 3 yards right there on a 2nd and 20. He just doesn't want to give up 10+ yards. This is beautiful for him.
Jimmy G needs 17 here on 3rd down with 92 seconds to go here in the first half. Garoppolo, there's Kittle, and he can't hang on. Late throw?
It looked like he was about to throw it to. I thought he was about to throw it to go in. I thought he had a touchdown, but that wasn't a bad pass either. But he got rocked, so you can't really complain about that.
One thing we talked about all tournament long, Draney, and we talked about it a lot when you're playing, because I think you're one of the best on the circuit at it, is how important it is to quickly click on once that ball's in the air and make those hits or those interceptions yourself.
Does anybody know if roughing the punter is in the game? Because that was close.
But to your click on thing, it really does make the craziest big of impact that I've ever seen. The CPU will never make plays that your user can make. And having a good click on is a key to getting a lot of interceptions, a lot of loose balls, a lot of swats.
It's good for them to hear Draney say it, Scott, because I get nervous, I say it. It doesn't have as much credibility as when the champ says it, but it really is the difference, and it's been the difference for a long time now, whatever Madden you're playing.
Yeah, if you're using coaches' suggestions and playing on the line, that's not competitive Madden.
Yeah.
You want that skill gap.
Yeah, for sure.
With the user.
The same on the offensive side. When you throw it to the receiver, I see a lot of people letting computer catch it, and that's just not the way to go. You want to user click on and then, put your receiver in the right spot to catch it. So
at least choose what catch you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's good advice right there from the champ.
Appreciate it, RG.
Look at that.
You're not so bad yourself, buddy.
But the blocking is crazy, man.
7-7, and you're right. Lane Johnson is just getting after it right now.
They actually have 3 abilities. That's the craziest part. And he puts all of them on the same side. So it just makes it tough, to stop the run to the right side.
Seen a lot of folks from Elite Madden.
Ooh,
and that time defense. He does knife his way in there with a big time hit. That's going to bring up 2nd and 14. 30 seconds left here in the first half.
Right here. Knowing Joke, being the similar type of player Joke is, he's just going to try to run the ball and try to get 3. He's not going to look for a touchdown right here.
And just to give some perspective real quick before we get to the end of the Joke attempts this field goal, those Eagles have Jason Kelsey, who has the nasty streak and the power blocker ability. Brandon Brooks has post-up and pass block elite, which means he's going to be one of the best pass blockers in the game. And then Lane Johnson also with that nasty streak. So you have two guys on that O-line with that nasty streak ability that's going to really help you pound that rock.
Yeah.
54-yarder, it's up, and it is good. A three-piercer on wheels, I'm scared.
When we get on camera, we sit down as soon as they cut away. You act like we haven't had a routine here, Cole. Don't bluff them.
Here comes Joke. Hands it off to Scott once again, and Fancy needs to stop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be super hard to stop this offensive scheme right here. It's like you have two blockers on the right, two blockers on the left. It's a completely balanced formation. You don't know where he's going to run it. And look at this. The dive is, oh, my God.
I got a good idea where he's going to run it.
Look at
maybe all the way to the crib. Touchdown, Joe. Two-score lead.
See, now Joke is super comfortable. He's going to be comfortable on defense. He stopped him last possession, and he's going to ride that momentum.
17 unanswered.
And it's interesting with these Eagles, they are the top-rated team in Madden 20 at 89 overall. They have the best overall team, and one of their weaknesses was they didn't have a lot of speed at halfback, as the top 5 running backs on the depth chart are all under 90 speed. But then they go and find this guy right here, Boston Scott, and he's on his horse.
Man, him being 5'6", and he's super fast, it lets him get through the holes that the O-line give him.
That's a good point about the 5'6". He's smaller, so it's going to be harder to grab a hold of him.
A little MJD.
Squeeze through those holes, yep.
And there's Garoppolo.
Man, Joke is mixing up his defense really well, I'll tell you that much.
2nd and 5. You felt like Fancy, even if he could have held him to a field goal there.
Yeah.
Still would have been a one-score game, but now you got to start working a little quicker.
Nice spin.
Great spin move there by Coleman.
8 for 10, but those 2 sacks that he took that last possession definitely ruined that drive. But he is dotting when he has the chance to actually have time in the pocket.
3:35 left to go here in the third. Remember, this is a loser's bracket. This is an elimination game.
Good blitz pickup.
And he will go up top. A good one. He will chase it down. Inside the red zone, down at the 18.
And that's why they call him Baby Reek.
How good was that pocket presence, though, by Fancy? Just sidestep, let the blitz get picked up, let it rip with Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Coleman made a Superman block there.
I thought he was about to have to make a quick read, but he shipped it right over.
There it is again, but oh, man, there's that.
Have you met Fletcher Cox?
Fletcher Cox is super wild on defense, super wild.
2nd and 18. You don't want to do anything stupid here. I mean, you need at least 3.
Yeah. Look at that. Perfect read. Jimmy Garoppolo, 10 for 12, 185 yards. He's doing good on offense.
Big third down here, guys. Remember, this isn't 2-down territory. If Joke's able to get the stop right here, if you're Fancy, you likely have to take your 3 to make it 1-possession ball game. So this is a sleeper 3rd and 3 right here if you're Fancy. You can't take this play lightly. You have to really try to pick this one up.
Here comes the big dime, 1-4-6. Garoppolo looking, firing to the outside. Pettis will help him pick up the first down.
Man, that out route is money. He just waits to see if that's a deep third, and he will throw it instantly.
So that's going to be a 1st and goal here at the 7. Now things get real stingy here, Green.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan of Joe coming out in 1-4-6 in this situation. Or 2-3-6. I think this is 1-4-6, but I'm not a fan of it.
1st and goal. Fancy trailing by 10. Garoppolo nearly threw a pick to Jenkins.
Oh, man.
It looked like Fancy wanted his running back coming out of the backfield, but he got caught up in a block.
If that's not a low throw, that's a pick.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Trips to the left. Let's try it again.
Telling you, there was no one in that area that the running back was trying to run that streak out of the backfield, but he just got stuck on the blocker. I wonder if that messed with Fancy on that one.
Yeah, it probably just messed up his whole, progression on the reads. He just felt forced to throw that.
Jimmy G once again, Kittle! That's a laser beam.
That's a hot one. You have Kittle on the corner route. You can hot route him to it because of the ability. You send the wheel route to that side to put the flat in conflict. You wait for him to play the wheel, and then you just slang it to the corner. That was a real deal read right there from Young Fancy.
Yeah, definitely a good route combo. I like it.
Back to a 3-point game once again.
If I'm Joke right now, I'm pretty pissed that, the pass before the touchdown wasn't a pick. You got to get your mind right, and you just got to look, forward to this next possession, and you got to score 7.
You're a guru when it comes to clock management and running the ball. What's the expectation in this situation, Trina? Is the priority to score, or is it to pick up just first downs and slowly milk this clock away? What? Oh man!
Oh man!
Forget
Boston,
about it. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go throw up.
Boston, hey man, Fancy has to learn some run defense, or it's gonna get super easy for Joke.
Touchdown, Joke. Back to a 10-point lead, just like that.
I think Drini called it out too. I've been focusing on his speed, but him only being 5'6", you see him, he's squeezing through some of those holes that some of these other backs just might not be able to get through. I mean, he's like a little mouse.
Yeah.
Joined by the Madden 19 champ Drini, along with our champ Scott Cole. Might have himself a return.
Oh, what a
and
tackle.
somehow caught from behind at the
Wow.
44. Look at this run again, though. Whoop.
Do you see that? He has Lane Johnson at tight end, leading the way, just making sure that he hits a cornerback or a linebacker just so he pancakes him, using that ability to the most that he can.
And you know what's funny, Trini, is you know it as much as anyone. Forever there was this consensus that O-line didn't matter in competitive play. And here we go now. We're to the point where guys are picking teams pretty much because of the O-line.
You guys can trust me on this, man. Using the Patriots and using the Cowboys are so totally different on the run game. The Cowboys hold their blocks so much longer, and you kind of get shedded when you use the Patriots. So O-line definitely matters. Definitely matters what team you pick, and that's for sure a myth.
Picks up the blitz,
Oh,
shakes one off, and then just throws it away. You can't block Fletcher Cox that long.
Got to give a huge shout out to Clint Oldenburg and designer Nick Farrer and Mike Scantlebury. They did a good job getting those O-linemen to really be a factor this year, more so than we've seen in the past.
It opened up the team selection for sure here in Regs.
Yeah, with no O-line abilities, I really don't feel like anyone will use the Eagles. But after these abilities were in the game, it definitely caused some people to change to them.
Garoppolo will throw it to the outside, and Pettis will fall down at the 41. The interesting choices are going to be when salary cap comes around. What abilities, what cap values are you willing to roll out there? You see how dominant they've been.
It's going to be tough. I think that's going to be more important than anything. Team building. That's going to be as important as how good you are at the game. So that's going to be another skill.
This is just our first major of the year, first of 4. And here comes a huge 4th and 14. And I'm not saying it might be 4th in the game,
but it is.
But it is.
Especially versus Joke's run attack, which looks unstoppable right now. Definitely needs to convert this.
Garoppolo in the gun.
Oh, he's setting the crib. He's setting everybody.
Able to pick it up. Throws it up top, and the one-handed grab by Darby.
About me, I'm gonna adjust. That's for sure.
Just got a paw on it and brought it in. And that's a turnover.
Man, Joke has came close so many times in these tournaments, and it seems like, this scheme right here really might, take him all the way. It looks like Joke feels really comfortable on offense and defense. I feel like this might be the one.
And Joke, he's one of these guys. He feels like he's been around forever. He feels like he should be a part of that 30-plus club. He's only 26 years old, and he has all this experience, all this credential. The only thing missing is that belt.
Yeah, I heard he started playing when he was like 10 years old competitively, like in the underground tournaments.
I think Madden 07.
Yeah, shoot.
That's cool.
A lot of us are huge football fans. Joke is a gamer first. That's how serious he
Well,
takes
Madden. It's most guys get into Madden because they're football fans. Joke was the opposite. He got into football because he
of
was
gaming.
a Madden,
Yeah.
because he was a Madden fan.
Oh, that's crazy. Shoot, he's probably like one of the few that have stories like that one.
The only one I've heard of.
Yeah.
3rd and 6. You saw Ertz get a route activated here. And there is a sack. Needed it. 4th and 13.
Joke wanted to throw that running back wheel, but Fancy baited it perfectly, and it made him hesitate for a second. He got that sack.
You got to take a sack there. You cannot throw a pick 6 at this point in the tournament.
Yeah. With the defense Joke's been playing, he just wants to play mistake-free and just let his defense do all the work for him.
Under 4 minutes to go.
And I'm going to say something that's common sense, but a lot of people don't do this. This is a professional move by Joke, letting that play clock run all the way down pretty much in this type of situation.
On the Xbox, you just hold the A button after you had a kick. You do that on field goals, punts, any kicking situation.
Yeah, when you got a 10-point lead, you want to give your opponent the least amount of time for them to come back, so you got to chew that clock.
Trips to the right. He's going to flip the script.
I just don't feel like he's comfortable in this tight formation.
He's running the ball.
Needs to show us something out of it. Ball at the 34. He'll hand it off. Coleman. Fletcher Cox is doing work. I don't care if you're passing it, running it. He's all over the place.
Yeah, the interior pressure is crazy. Like when you see that star pop up and you know he's going after you, it really does like kind of scare you. You want to make a quick read.
Look at him step up in the pocket, and Kittle right between the cover 2. Bang, bang, Fancy's back in the game.
Oh man, what a way to come back.
That might have been a cover 3, but he certainly didn't get back there on the high.
What a ball game. And another thing I want to call out is, here we are, we're going on 11 o'clock here tonight. It's been a long day, and I look behind me, and there's so many competitors just still here, checking out the action. Even if they don't have a horse in the race, they're just enjoying the high-level Madden, the experience. I love it.
It's just the love for the game. I got eliminated earlier in the day, and I was here for 10+ hours. I just like the game. I just love watching competitive Madden.
And I will say, Drini, thank goodness, because it's a pleasure having you up here at the desk with us.
Absolutely.
So thanks for sticking around, man.
Drini, RG, Scott Cole with you. James is keeping an eye on all the action. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. And we'll get back to the original gun bunch as Skimbo will join us here at the desk.
It's awesome.
That'll be for the grand finals. That could
Michael
be a best of 2.
Romo Skimbo.
You know what? You know, that's
Tony Romo of Madden commentary.
That's the nice thing about this double elimination is you want to stay in that winner's bracket because that gives you the opportunity that if you happen to lose one in the final, you still got another chance.
Oh yeah, for sure. That gives you so much relief. You know, you can play kind of loose in the first final, but you know, if you lose, you obviously have to lock in.
24-21. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning. Fancy still does have all 3 timeouts, and he's going to have to lock up right here. Just 2 minutes to go in one of these competitors' weekends here at the Madden 20 Classic.
I think Fancy's starting to find defense for that run.
It's taken a while.
Yeah, it took a while, but he's starting to find it. 2nd 11, last possession, he's completely bagged it, but now he's feeling it. And I feel like the only way Joke's gonna win this game is if he passes and gets the first down right here. He's gonna have to pass.
And if you're Joke, you really want to close this one out. It's been a long tournament. If he can win this game, he'll be 9-1 up until this point in the tournament. 9 wins is a lot of wins to have to accumulate in a couple days against top-tier competition.
Haven't seen many RPOs this week.
Yeah. And it was such a long night for the competitors. They played like 7 to 8 games today each. You know, it was a long night. You do not want to end that off with a loss.
3rd and 8. This is it. They go to Scott. Scott will pick up the first down. That should be the game and more, and he'll lay down.
GG's in the chat.
And that's beautiful awareness by Joke, knowing that going down right there finishes the game instead of, you know, giving him life, trying to go back on offense, score 7, maybe an onside kick. So that's perfect awareness by Joke, and, you know, that seals the game.
That's it. Joke's going to be 9-1 so far in this tournament. His only loss coming to Kerry Q, and the quest for his first belt continues.
I didn't mean to go offsides, honestly. Like, I didn't mean to.
And they're still discussing here. I thought we may have GGs.
The game's still over.
I don't have any time. I was just kneeled out.
And they will bend the knee.
Great game.
And if you're fancy, hold your head up high. I mean, you're a guy, you've had a lot of buzz around you. You came out to arguably the toughest Madden tournament of all time.
That offense is insane.
And you put on a show.
It's really good.
And he's only going to get better from here. You got to expect we'll be seeing a lot more of Fancy.
And if you miss it, he's from McKinney, Texas. Just 45 minutes away from here. We're on his home turf, and he's had quite a run.
And if you could see the game before this, where Fancy was down 4 on his opponent's 20-yard line, 1 second left, he throws a laser to win the game to get here. So, you know, he showed that clutch gene. He was, you know, he was trying to fight this game. So, you know, we see that he has a lot of heart.
Who was that against?
I forgot his name, but he definitely threw a laser.
I was trying to slide, and I kept like tapping both buttons.
Clutch gene.
And then I was like stuck. He wouldn't slide, so I didn't know what to do.
Well, this is going to be it. Clock will expire.
I
Joke will be moving on. Fancy's road will end. But you got to tip your cap to not only Fancy, but everyone. We had 512 registered players, and we're now down to just a handful.